referring to the Jews, and warns them that any accusation against him and strife among themselves will be a destruction of their community. Not his work, not Jesus' work healing the sick. He's turning their accusation to themselves, that because you are divided and in strife among yourselves, you will be destroyed, not the people whom I heal. During the Jesus' time also, there was the same syncretism as in our times we find what I read just in the beginning. There were a lot of religious gods, different levels of gods, Gnosticism. There were a lot of really evil spirits in his time. And the strife and the struggle he is going through during this conversation is the same as we Christians have to really face today. In a lot of Paul's letters, he is encouraging Christians in this fight against the darkness of this world. Paul is writing in his letter to Christians to fight against evil powers and how through suffering Jesus overcame them. In John's Gospel, now is judgment of this world, now is the rule of this world cast out, Jesus was praying in his farewell speech. And in our prayer to the Lord's Prayer, we say, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Jesus on his cross destroyed the power of the devil, and he disarmed the principalities and powers and made them a public example of them, triumphing over them in him. Christ is more powerful than powers of evil, and in John's first letter, little children, you are God and have overcome them, for he who is in you is greater than the who is in the world. God helps us in our temptation in fight against evil powers. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man, writes Paul. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your strength, but with the temptation will also provide the way of escape. Put on your whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the evil. All this tells us that Christians in all ages encountered the devil and had to fight between good and evil. In our text, the symbolism of the division of the kingdom, what Jesus was referring to the Jewish religion, we are coming to the smaller community, which is a congregation. This is my favorite subject. I just found again me fighting against this accusation about how congregations can be destroyed in my dissertation. I couldn't believe I was writing then about this danger of the evil entering to congregational life. Philip Melanchthon, Luther's friend, wrote that the most dangerous thing in the church, in our little congregations, is this, that the evil will get in and destroy the worship service. So he divided the church's policy to divine ordered worship and delivering sacraments. Secondly, the second part of the policy of the church will be the outward structure of the church, like church council, outward works of the church members to protect the church's financial status and its maintenance. All this outer structure is protecting the gospel. So if the outward structure is destroyed, according to Melanchthon, the little gospel, which is safeguarded by the outward structure, will also be destroyed. I was looking at an example to explain this better, and this is not a very good example, but it possibly brings some ideas home about this. Think about a fruit. I'm thinking about peach or nectar, for instance. They have a big seed inside the fruit. if you push against the outer layer of that fruit, all the good things inside are bursting out and the fruit quickly dies. This example shows against this that this outer structure of the church is to safeguard the gospel, and it is extremely important that we all respect in our congregation the structure which is protecting the worship and gospel. God calls us as disciples to follow him. He himself did not have a lot of earthly comfort to live in this earth fighting against these evil powers which surrounded him all the time, constantly. Even his family tried to safeguard him and took them home and say, you need to eat something, you can't be so furious fighting for these scribes and Pharisees, come and rest. But Jesus uses that example to us to say that anybody who follows me is my brother, sister, and mother. He completely separated him from the earthly community, saying, I am forming a divine community where everybody who follows me will be my brother, sister, and mother. Melanchthon also was warning in his assessment to the safeguard of the congregation. He was also referring to the dangers what will destroy the congregation, and he reiterated three things: erroneous teaching, impious living, tyrannical order, doctrinal strife. They all give rise to conflicts and divisions in the congregation which are in danger breaking the outer structure which preserves the gospel pure for us. Let us all forget following Christ is following the gospel as essential message of gospel of forgiveness of sins and new life and justification of faith, that we are all God's children and we are all responsible safeguarding our community so that the gospel will be preached every Sunday and that our faith will grow in the knowledge of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Yeah, it was doing that. Connect streaming, but it wouldn't go live. It was just sitting on Connect streaming, and it wouldn't come off. So now it's live. Why there's not a picture? You're supposed to start streaming and start recording. But it wasn't even doing that. It was doing the things that connected to you. This week, start